Hello Stampers, welcome to Fabulous Friday. Today we're going to look at how to make this little gatefold card. It looks like a flat little card, but it actually opens up like this. So the base of your card is just a flat piece. I'm Sally Allen, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and I'm stamping with gas. I'll put this card aside and show you what you'll need to make this card, or what I use to make this card. I use the Free as a Bird stamp set, and I use this stamp right here. And for that you'll need a 2.5 by 4 piece of paper and stamp your birds in Memento ink. Alright, so there's that. And then to cut out the little gatefolds, see the little scalloped edge? It's Stitched So Sweetly dies. So I'm going to use the biggest rectangle die. This is the one that I use to cut out the DSP, and then this is the one that I use to cut out the birds. And I can't grab it, but that's what that is. And then I used Peaceful Moments for the greeting that you shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did. And it's here at the bottom of my card. So I left the inside blank, and you guys can put any greeting you like on the top or any greeting that you like inside. So I've left it kind of wide open for you. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about cutting our main pieces. Now these pieces here are Misty Moonlight and the new Pale Papaya and Pale Papaya Ribbon, and some of the new, what are these called? Loose Flower Flourishes, that's what they are, and they're glued on there, and those are Pale Papaya too. Now the DSP is hand penned, and I always like, this is the hand penned, and I always like to look on the back because it tells us what colors will coordinate with this. And it says Blushing Bride, so I've got the Blushing Bride here, and I've also got the Misty Moonlight, so that's the blue, and then the hand penned. So once you decide, you can go one or two ways. You can decide on your colors first and look for the right DSP, or you can pick the DSP you like and then pick the coordinating colors. So when you pick a piece of the hand penned DSP, make sure the back side is something you can also use, because some of it, so I could have picked this one for the pink flowers, but when I turn it over, it's the peach, so that didn't work. So then I moved to this one. So you just want to use your dies and cut out two of the biggest frames that are in your Stitched So Sweetly dies. And to do that, you want a piece about 3 1/4 that accommodates the width of the die, and then about 9 inches, which accommodates the length of 2 of them, because you want 2 of them. Now, one thing to remember when you are cutting these, so I'm going to cut it like so the first time. Let's see, I have a little bit of a glare there. I can't pick anything up today. So do it this way the first time, and then flip your paper over to do it again. Otherwise, you won't see as nice of a stitch if you do this one backwards. Does that make sense to everybody? So do it once this way and once this way. Okay. And then, as I said before, I can't pick it up, we're going to color our birds and then cut out with this die right here from the Stitched So Sweetly. Now you can cut out any part of, the birds that you want, that you like. Just kind of eyeball it so that, say you're going to leave that piece off, you don't need to worry about coloring that piece. All right, so we'll color that first, and then I'm going to put that up there so I can actually get it when I need it. Okay, So there are other color combinations you can use too. And here's one. I'm going to use the pink, the Blushing Bride, and the Misty Moonlight. This is Garden Green and the new Pale Papaya. And these are the colors that come off. That is a funny glare. Let me see if I can adjust my light there. All right, so you can, it looks yellow on my screen, but it's really kind of a peachy color, that Pale Papaya. All right, well, I'm going to show you a little trick about coloring your birds if you don't have the right color markers, which I have not gotten my alcohol markers yet, my Stampin' Blends for the new in colors. And for some reason, I don't have Blushing Bride either. So I'm going to show you quickly. I will do the branch that the birds are sitting on. And I'm using light crumb cake. I'll just go along here like so, going right over their feet. And then I'll take the dark one and go over the little variations in the wood there, avoiding their feet. I don't want their feet to be brown. Okay. So then you can go back over it again and blend in that dark. Hence the name Stampin' Blends. All right, so there's our branch. And then if you have a suitable color of green, I think I chose soft seafoam. Let me see if that's, I think that's what I want. Let me do this one because it's not, yeah. Because this one, on the green on this is very, very soft. So I didn't want a real bright green. So I'm going to, and I'm doing this as quickly as I can, just not to waste your time to watch me color. And then I can go over it with a little bit of the dark. Just kind of blend it in there. Now I don't have the Stampin' Blends for the blue, the Misty Moonlight, or the Blushing Bride. Actually, I do have the Stampin' Blends for the Misty Moonlight. I think they're a little bit dark for what I want to do with the birds. So let me show you how I'm going to color the birds with an ink pad. So you'll just need your ink pad, and you'll need a little clear block size A. And if you don't know how to find the sizes on your blocks, just look on the side here. So see, there's a little A right there. It's kind of hard to see on the screen. Let's see if I hold it over something dark. So there's the A. Okay, so that's my A block. And this is going to become my, my ink. I guess my ink, what do artists call it? I don't know. You also need these water painters, and this is the old style. They have new ones now, and I can't wait to get mine. They're called water painters, and you get 3 for $12, and now they come with a fine, a medium, and a large, and the large is a nice flat brush. So that's exciting. One of the other things I forgot to get out, but they're right here. I really like these big facial cleansing pads. I got them at Walgreens. And I like to leave one lying there when I'm working, because if my brush gets too full of water, I just dab it on there. All right, so I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ink. Maybe I want to put some water on there because I want a lighter color. Oh, just squeeze it a little bit. There we go. And then, like I said, it's real watery, so I'm going to take some off with the pad. So now you can just pick up that ink and use it like a paintbrush. And one thing about doing it this way too is sometimes you look at it and you think, oh my gosh, that doesn't look so great. But when you come back and the paper starts to dry a little bit, it's amazing how good it really looks. So I'm just coloring in those birds. And this is just regular basic white cardstock. You can use the watercolor paper, which for this is probably better, but I didn't really think about that before I started preparing all of my things for this video. So down here where they have the shading, I'm going to follow and kind of put a little bit deeper of a blue there. So that's how you can, when you don't have the markers and you don't have the Stampin' Blends, just get out your ink pad and fill it in that way. So then I can just clean my little thing off and use it for the next color. Now I usually take my stamp pad and put this on top so I know it goes together if I'm going to use it again. So this is the Blushing Bride, and again I'm going to use my size A. So there's my ink, and I'm just going to get, I'd like it to be as dark as I can for these little flowers. So I'm not going to put any water on the block. I don't really need this flower. I think I'm going to cut it off, but I'll go ahead and color that in. And so it goes fairly fast. It's not hard to do, really. And don't be hard on yourself, because like I said, it dries and the ink kind of spreads around, and it looks really nice. I like it. All right, I did miss a couple of leaves here. I know how I always do this. All right. So now what I'm going to do is take an orange. Now you can use a blend, Stampin' Blends, or a pencil, whatever you like for your beaks here. And you don't even have to be this specific. I've seen people that have colored the whole bird the same color, and it looks great. It looks really great. I have the light cinnamon cider Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to color, get the thing open, the top of the bird's head with this cinnamon cider. I've become quite the bird watcher lately. I don't know what this bird would be called, but so I'm going to use this cinnamon cider to kind of give a little bit of an outline to the bird, a little bit of color, and we'll just call it our own kind of bird. I don't know what it is. I get so excited around here when I live in Indiana, and when you, in the springtime, you put oranges out, and then the Orioles, the Baltimore Orioles, come to your feeders, and it's just the most exciting thing. And we were excited this year. We got an Oriole right off. Doesn't happen very often, but it did this year, so we were excited. All right, so that's it. That's my bird that I want for my card here. And I'm just going to get all my stuff put away and set these aside. I can just clean those off with a chamois. Set my ink aside. All right, so now I'm going to, as I said before, knock my camera down probably. I've done that at least once a month here. So let me turn around to I call her Gloria. I'm sorry, I do not call her Gloria. Somebody else calls theirs Gloria. Mine is Rhonda. What am I thinking? So I'm just going to line up that die there and cut out the birds. So here we go. There are my birds. So I'm just going to set them aside. The next thing we want to do, and if I were teaching this class in person, I would warn people, don't try to work ahead, because you don't want to glue this piece of paper down yet. So let's take a look at our card again. So we have some work to do before we glue that piece of paper down. Let me get my trimmer. So what we want to do after we've, I'm not sure how to get rid of it because it's my overhead light. There we go. So I won't have quite the glare there. So here's my little flaps for my gatefold. And what I want to do is score them just at 1/4 of an inch here. So here I need to decide, and you need to decide, which side you want. So do I want this to be the top flap and this to be the underneath flap, like so, or the opposite? Do I want that and that? On this piece, it won't really matter, but on this piece, you see how the flowers are going up ways, so you want to keep them that way. So let's say I want this flap on the right here. So I'm going to want to score it on this side because that's where I'm going to connect it. So let me turn it upside down. Line it up with my 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to get rid of my cutting blade. See, I have mine marked cut. Put it down there out of my way so I don't accidentally use it. And then I just want to score that 1/4 inch line right there. And I'm going to pick it up and fold it along that line. Same thing with my other piece. And this one will be on the left side of the card. So there's my 1/4 inch right there. And I'm going to score that, pick it up, and fold it over. So here's my 2 gates right here, folded. All right, let me get rid of this. And now I have tried different adhesives. I tried to use the Stamp and Seal, and it's a little bit too wide. So what worked better for me was the Tear and Tape. So what I'm going to do here, this is the flap that this is what we're going for right here. So we're going to put that there, and ultimately glue that onto the pink card base. So what I want to do is put the Tear and Tape along this little ledge right here. And that's finally, after I messed around a while, found that was the best. That worked the best for me. I learned this little card style, I should show you the original, about 10 years ago, and I was brand new in Stampin' Up! And didn't really know a whole lot. And I don't remember where I learned it. I went to a convention when I was fairly new, so I don't know if I learned it there. I just really don't remember. But what I had done, I loved this layout so much. I used it for invitations for my son's wedding reception. And so this is what it looked like then. And these pieces here, the flaps, were a die called Top Note, which was one of the first things I ever bought. So anyway, I was digging through my stuff when I came across this, and I thought, hey, that would make a cute, kind of revive that fancy fold there, because I had a lot of fun with it. And really, it looks really nice, and it's not that hard. What I do with my Tear and Tape is I kind of warm it up with my fingers like this, rubbing it, and then it's a little easier to get that paper off. I've had people say, help me, I can't get this off. Just rub it, get it warm. Wash your hands are cold, and then have somebody else rub it for you. All right, now here's another decision that you're going to have to make, because on this card, if you want a greeting that's bigger than what I used, then you want to move your little gate folds up. So kind of have something in mind that you're going to do with your greetings here at the bottom. I'm going to move mine kind of up more towards the top. And I'm going to get it right on that fold. There we go. You can use your bone folder to really get that flattened there. I want to make sure that I get it even. Oops, there we go. Get my little fold right there. Oop. Right there. Nope, right there. Right there, we got it. All right. And then the bone folder. Okay, so that's going to be my gatefold right there. Now it's time to go ahead and commit and glue this down to the card base. Remember, with your liquid glue, you really don't need that much. You don't literally have to paint it on the back of the card like you're painting a picture or a wall. And this is why I like liquid glue, because it gives me that wiggle room where I can get things adjusted just right. All right. So now we can put the birds on there because that's our closure. And we'll use some dimensionals. Need a new package there. Get them back here. And then don't go past the midline because you don't want both sides to adhere. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to get that a little bit more to the top, but centered side to side. Now to close it, what I use are some little Velcro dots that I got. I got them a long time ago. They last forever, unless you're making 100 cards. And what did I do with them? Of course, I laid them down and they disappeared. Let me show you what I have on this card here. They're just little dots. I don't even know if you can see it. That little dot right there. Real easy to open. And like I said, Michaels. And they're the actual Velcro brand. All right, so that's how we're going to close this. Now my embellishments here, I used these loose flower flourishes that are in the new catalog. So let's see what we've got here. We could use the lavender, which kind of is in that paper, or we could use the pink, which I don't know. I like the pink actually. So I want one there. And one here, maybe. I just think these are the cutest things. We haven't had anything like this in a while that I've been so silly about. So I've been playing with them. And now you can use your fine tip glue pen or your green glue, whatever you trust yourself with. I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen. It tends to put the glue where I want it instead of where I don't. And I can get just a tiny bit, which is what I want here. Now, you can pick, like I said before, you can pick a greeting and put it down here on this narrow part, or you can cut it out with the dies. And this particular die set is nice because it's got lots of, see how small? They go all the way down to that small. So you could actually, if your greeting fits in there, if it's hello or something, you can put it right there. So that would be the next step. Since my paper is dark, I might use white embossing powder to put my greeting across here. However you decide you want to do this. When you're putting your lid back on your fine tip glue pen, put your finger behind there to kind of guide that pin in there and it goes right in. All right. The last step then is on this card I had put a bow, and this is the Pale Papaya ribbon that is new this year with the new in colors. And I had some blue and I didn't like that, but this year we have some new gold thread, and so I'm going to make a bow with that instead. Let's see how we like that. And I'm going to double it. And here's how I do it. Let's see if you can see how I just tie a bow. Of course I have glue on my fingers now. Oh, shoot. Oh dear. I have to pause the video and go take the glue off my fingers. All right, so then I just kind of adjust it like so and pull it really tight. And then I want one loop bigger than the other. So I'll just pull one of the strings so one gets smaller, like so. And can you see how, if that's on a darker color? So maybe I want my ribbon or my bow right there. I will use my fine tip glue again. I could use some glue dots. Lately though, and I don't know if it's the humidity here, I've been having stuff fall off. So I don't know. I've never really had that before, and I used to live in Colorado where it's nice and dry, and that just never happened. So I'm going to use my handy dandy fisherman's pliers. I got these out of my husband's fishing fly tying kit, and I love them. And I was nice enough to eventually return them to him and order myself some more. I use these things all the time when I don't have the patience to sit and hold something. It's especially helpful if you're tying a bow and you need, you know, like, here, put your finger here. No, you don't have to, because you can use these, they're called alligator. Some of them are bent and some of them are straight like that one. And I have about 6 of them, and I just love these things. Not a Stampin' Up! Product, I wish they were. Okay, so now the last thing we have to do is the inside, and that is a 4x4 piece of paper to go for your inside greeting. Now, I've shown you the dies. There might be a greeting on the Free as a Bird that you like. I was looking for more of a birthday or something like that. So I found the Peaceful Moments, and last year I believe when the poppies came out, the Peaceful Moments came with that, and then they returned this year, which I'm really happy. So I could use the congratulations, life is better with a friend like you. Of course, I've got my happy birthday for the inside. So this is a good one, Peaceful Moments for your greetings. And I thought I cut my paper, but hang on just a second. All right, so once you decide what kind of greeting you want, you can stamp your greeting. And I always stamp my greeting first and then glue it in there in case I make a mistake and have to turn my paper over. So open it up, and your 4x4 fits just right in there, and you can't see it when you close the card. All right, that's it, my friends. Thank you for stopping by. See you next Friday.